All right, morning everyone. Making a quick video. Tryout season just ended, and I see some things that are very common among basketball players, especially in the high school age group, that I wanted to address. And so, I'm going to give you a real quick video on over dribbling, what you should do when you get the ball, what you should be prepared for, and then give you a how and kind of like a. So we'll go why and how. I'll try to keep this quick, but common issue I see is we'll be in a tryout, right? Somebody will get the ball, not really know what to do, and the ball will stick. No movement, we're watching, and we're over dribbling up top, right? So what I like to say is we got a fine line between, taking somebody off the dribble and dancing with the stars. So we got to make sure that we're taking somebody off the dribble, not the other way around. Common thing that'll happen is a kid will come with a lot of pickup background. I'm a huge advocate for guys playing pickup and getting game experience as opposed to sitting there training all day, because you got to have a good balance, and I like that game instinct when guys have it. But when you're playing pickup, you have to reinforce good habits, and that's a whole other conversation that I've had with a lot of my guys about influences, right? So like we talk about, you especially when even up till your 20s, you're impressionable. You see some things and you tend to not have that trigger where you're like, nah, that's just wrong. Like as you get older, you start getting a little more discerning about things, but that's another conversation. My point is, when you're playing pickup, make sure that you're not influenced by what other guys are doing, because they could have bad habits that are rubbing off on you. Also, don't reinforce bad habits. Make sure you're on top of yourself. There's a women's college basketball coach, I'm blanking on her name right now. She basically just talks about be good at the things that happen often. We don't need you to get fancy, right? And as a coach, I can attest, I've been coaching for a long time. We don't need you to like. I'd rather have a solid finisher and guy that can make an open jump shot than the guy that's going to turn the ball over 5 times but get a ooh and a ah every now and then, right? So that's basically what I wanted to talk about here. When you get the ball in the open court, or whenever any situation when you're trying to take somebody off the dribble, you have to have, especially up until the high school level, one move, right? One little move, a counter, and then maybe a combo off of that. That's all you really need, right? We don't need any much more than that. Get really good at one of these, right? Maybe that's a cross. I'll show you a couple of these here later. After this is gonna be a 2-part video. Like I said, we'll talk about the why, and then we'll go to the court and I'll give you a how. So let me show you the why real quick. The why this is not good, right? This is very easy to defend. Let's talk about something that happens in the NBA a lot. You got the 5 out, and NBA is pick and roll heavy, but there's also situations where certain guys, like if you think of James Harden, he's really good at what is considered at your level, guys. The guys this video is for, the high school and younger. This is over dribbling, okay? So like what he'll do and kind of like lull this guy to sleep, he has to step back. But the thing is, he's lethal. He's one of the greatest, he is, in my opinion, the greatest scorer off the dribble that I've ever seen. So he gets away with that, right? Like he can dribble. Plus he's got dogs beside him that can also shoot, and you cannot leave this. Like if I'm playing in the NBA, I can't sag over and help and a basic rotation that'll work in high school where like if this guy gets beat, you step up, you fly back. That's not going to work in the NBA because this amount of space, that closeout's too long on the NBA 3. These guys can all shoot, you know what I mean? It's not going to work. In high school, this will work, right? This type of defense will prevent this from working. The over dribbling and just trying to get by somebody. If it doesn't, then the team that's defending is just not that good, and you shouldn't be holding yourself to that standard anyway. So what you're going to want to do is get something out of the offense for the most part. If you get a guy and you can take him off the dribble off one rip and go while the offense is still moving and not stagnate, that's fine. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. We'll go to the 2-3 real quick. Just because that was a man-to-man. We'll talk about a zone as well because a lot of sets are, kind of similar. But this is just going to be a microcosm of basketball as a whole. Try to keep this video short. I know I'm already kind of getting into the weeds here. So, all right. This is your basic 2-3, right? A set that you can go. I'm going to show you how uncommon it is that you get a chance to, maybe in a tryout, yes, you're getting a chance to just dribble the ball, right? You're not going to get the chance to do that. When we see that in tryouts as coaches, it doesn't show us much. You know what I'm saying? We get a lot of what we're trying to see is who's decisive, who can make a quick decision, who can really just keep the offense moving and score, and who has scoring ability. Um, so again, fine line, right? I'll show you a microcosm of how often you actually get a chance to do that, to dribble and take somebody off the dribble. Our sets as coaches should be getting you open shots. Okay, so 2-3, right? We go horn set. This is basic. I'm not giving away trade secrets here, but the basic stuff, right? Like everybody runs this. It's not a big deal that we're talking about it. So the idea here is you're swinging the ball back and forth. There might be a switch away. So if the ball starts, you swing, and then you can switch away, whatever. You might not even need to do that, right? The idea is you're trying to get the wings. Depends who your coach is. For me, I like to look for the layup here. So what I'm trying to do is draw these wings up and then get the high post cutting. So if let's say we throw the ball over here, wing goes up, I cut down. Now we got a 2-on-1, or get the ball into the high post and get a screen and roll out of it. Either or, right? But a lot of coaches also, if your team can shoot, and then if this is your coaching philosophy and your style where you like to get an open shot, you get this open shot a lot of the time, right? Or somebody gets pinned on the high post, you fly over, you get this open shot a lot of the time. But that's neither here nor there, right? So this set, you can see that this entire set as an offensive player, you're not looking to dribble, right? It's not the point. The point is not for you to just get the ball on the wing and take somebody man to man. If you did that, that would actually make it easier for the defense because now they're going to rotate over and be ready for that. So, right, this is a whole set, and there's going to be a lot of these, right, curl screen actions, whatever, that don't involve you dribbling the ball a whole lot. All right, so I would rather you be better at that shot, or at, hey, boom, one dribble, knock that down, you get up over somebody and finish, having that skill, right, and being able to finish through contact. Spend your time doing that stuff, all right? That's the stuff that happens often, quote unquote. So now let's talk about another set out of this 2-3, right? When you're trying to beat the 2-3, another thing you can do is flood. So let's just go ahead and reverse the ball right here, right? You get the defense going over, and what you're doing is you're flooding down. Okay, maybe you set a screen right there with the high post. Doesn't really matter. You're flooding down. So now what it's going to end up looking like, and this block guy is going to come over eventually. Whatever action you need to do to run out of this, right? You are flooding one side of the court, okay? So you got 4 over 3, right? Forces the rotation, and the reason these guys are playing zone is because they don't want to guard you man-to-man. Now they have to guard you man-to-man, okay? So this guy's going to kick it back over, and you got a 4 over 3. It's going to be a 4 over 4, right? Hopefully y'all saw that. I don't know where the camera was at. This guy's got to step up. So now you got the man-to-man, right? So you're looking for, likely, if I'm coaching, I'm looking for the block entry. If I have a guy that can make that shot. If not, I'm getting the ball into the corner, screen and roll real quick, right? Boom, boom. Or up top, same deal, whatever it is. If I get it to the block, this guy's going to dive behind it and try to score right there. If I get it to the high post, same deal. We're trying to get a bucket at the bucket, right? Take it to the rack. So now look, there's a lot of options out of that. Again, that don't involve a whole lot of dribbling. You might dribble a little bit, but you're not taking a guy off the dribble, and you're not dancing. You're definitely not dancing, right? So let's say the one situation is you get nothing here, right? They're playing great D. You swing it back, boom, right? Now you get your chance to take it off the dribble, right? That's one out of maybe 10, 15 options we're talking about is one, right? That's the proportion. That's really, this is, like I said, it's a microcosm. This is a microcosm. This set is a microcosm of basketball. You're not going to be dribbling the ball all day long, ever. And look, here, you get one chance, right? This is a 2-3. These guys are flying back to their zones. If they're any good, this guy's caught man-to-man. You got to catch the ball, rip, get the hell out of there. Maybe, like I said, maybe you get a one move, boom, counter. If that's not there, combo, whatever. Get to the bucket. You're not dancing because by then the defense gets set up. Any good, well-coached defensive team is not letting you dance, and they're just laughing at you, watching you dance out there while they're sitting there not doing anything, right? You want to make these guys have to fly around, wear them down, pass the ball well. That's the idea. And I'm a defensive-minded coach, so knowing that, and a lot of my guys are defensive-minded players too, so you don't know what I'm talking about. You love it when these guys are just dancing, doing nothing. You want them to be doing that. And if you're good at defense, it doesn't faze you either. Because I'm sitting right here. All right, whatever you do, what you do. I'll strap you up anyway. So yeah, that is just an example Like, we went through a lot of different options in 2 different sets, and one of them involved you dribbling the ball, right? And then just dribbling the ball and taking somebody off the dribble at all. Now, it's a great skill to have. Obviously, when you're playing man-to-man, you want to be able to take somebody off the dribble. You want to get to the rack. You don't want to be settling for jumpers either. But, there's a couple combo moves we're going to talk about here. I know this video is getting long, but hopefully it's been informational and kind of like help you guys understand this, the concept here. But, next thing we'll do is get to the court. I'm going to show you a cross jab that goes, it's just a cross jab and then a combo crossover, maybe a double cross out of that. So it's just boom, 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 get out of there. And then we'll go into something that I see James Harden do a lot that has it's like a package that has a couple options out of it, a couple step back options, a couple crosses, a couple things you can do. It's just cross tween to set it up. We will talk about that here in a minute. I'll be hitting the court. All right.